And now,
it's 10 a.m.
Let's just get down to it.
And it's time for your sports fix.
Strap yourselves in, folks.
From two guys who have covered the teams you're passionate about for years.
We are professionals.
This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jake Scott, Ben Anderson, happy Friday to one and all. How's it going over there, Ben?
Doing well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. It's Friday, going into a long weekend, which I will work basically during most of it. Not all of it, though.
Some fun early games.
I love the 3 o'clock tip. I wish I've said this forever, but the afternoon Saturday or Sunday, now that they're playing Sunday home games, either way, the afternoon game is ideal.
Primo.
I think it's great for everybody. It's great for families. It's great for downtown.
Yeah.
I wish they would do more, but what do I know?
Yeah, I'm with you. I love 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I'd love an 11 o'clock game every once in a while. I know that seems a little bit early for everybody, but yeah, mix it around. You know, yesterday they were in Germany, and I get it was evening in Germany, but there was a Magic Grizzlies game on at noon yesterday because they were playing internationally. I'm all for it. I'm all for filling out the schedule a little more.
And then I've always liked the Martin Luther King Day all-day NBA. Mm-hmm. I didn't really mean for that all to come together like that. They should pay me money for that. That should be like a tagline.
Like that?
Anyway, I've always thought that was cool, and the Jazz have participated a few times. Mm-hmm. I remember a fun one back in the day against Gilbert Arenas.
And he went off for 50.
The Washington Wizards, yeah. So cool they're doing that. Do you like the play the same team twice in a row?
Not particularly, but if they feel like it's better for reducing travel and it allows you to get more bodies on the floor, which ironically, these are two of the games that are going to have the fewest bodies on the floor from either the Mavericks or the Jazz. Sure, I like the idea of it. So if traveling's that hard, you know, there's a lot of guys with Texas ties in the NBA. Will Hardy, certainly Keontae George. I'm sure they'll enjoy their time down there.
So from a us standpoint, pre-half and post radio bozo standpoint, I hate it. I hate it that we have talked about the Mavericks again on Saturday. But I was thinking about this. It's a really easy thing you can do for the players and staff that have to do all said traveling and all that. Like, yeah, I may not love it. The fans may not be in love with it per se either. But to get 2 games out of the way, not have to go out of your hotel or get on a plane and have an entire day off. I'd be surprised if the Jazz practiced, but you could practice or just, give everybody a recoup day or whatever. Like, I think it's a really easy way to do something, a solid for the players. And I should just shut up about my belly aching because, we talk about, ways to lighten the load or all this stuff. Like, this seems like a simple one that actually makes a difference.
Yeah, and you do it, 3 times a year maybe? They don't do it a whole lot, but they do it, a few times a year. I know the players really like it, not just for the travel issue, but again, we ask players every year, hey, what's your favorite city? What's your favorite stop? It's like, I never see the city. I don't know. I can tell you an arena, I can tell you a hotel, but I really don't get to spend time in a city hardly ever. And now, they play last night, game ends, 10:30. They can go out after that if they want to. They may practice today. It depends on where all the guys are going. And then, you have tonight to actually spend the night in Dallas, and I'm sure they love that opportunity. And those are actually pretty good bonding experiences. You can get together as a team and go out to dinner, and somebody knows the area very well because they played there or they grew up there or have family there. So I know those are opportunities they really like to take advantage of. Plus, it's just the league. Everyone is so friendly. I'm sure Kevin Love and Klay Thompson are hanging out. They know each other. They've been around for so long. They all go out together or they catch up with each other. So I'm sure that's a nice aspect of it.
Yeah, I don't want to know what they do with their personal time.
Keontae George is having his high school jersey retired today. Those types of opportunities present themselves.
Can't imagine what they'd get up to in Dallas on a night off, which was last night, by the way. It's not tonight because they've got an early game.
That's true.
And
they took last night off.
So tonight you can't go hard.
You can't go crazy.
Last night,
you're right.
I don't want to know.
Sure.
David Locke told us he was going to do an Asian food tour of Dallas, basically. He told us, I had no idea, that Dallas was some sort of hub for different types of Asian food.
I'm sure it's a major city, and, we have good Asian food now in Salt Lake. You can get good Asian food in Ogden if you want to. Like, there's a lot of options there. But it certainly seems like, no, you would go...
When I think of Dallas, I don't think of, like, pho.
No, you think of either Tex-Mex or, Southwest or whatever you're looking for.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you can probably get really good barbecue.
Talk to Locke about it. He'll
fine.
be very thorough
I get it, David,
with you, but yeah.
He's got his Asian ties that he's always looking for. So
well, and he's a very eclectic eater.
Mm-hmm. Well, you
think of like questions like of the people in my life who would have done what? Of the people in my life who would have eaten at the French Laundry, it's David.
Don't slight our guy JP either.
No, he's a foodie too. I just don't know. Does he have the financial means to eat?
Well, he's not on the road, and then he doesn't get the per diem because he's not on the road.
Well,
which makes it a lot easier.
The per diem isn't covering the French Laundry. I'm just saying, like,
it's pretty good. NBA per diem's pretty sweet
for a Michelin star restaurant.
If you're there Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Handed out like $5,000 a night. Sign me up.
Yeah, it's not quite that much.
Anyway, so day off. It's good. It's a good thing for the players, and those of us who have to talk about it or write about it or whatever can suck it up and look for a new storyline.
Sure.
Not that we should start with the game last night because I don't think it was the most relevant thing in sports.
Okay.
Or local sports.
Okay.
We got to start with Mark Harlan going scorched earth on
Salesi Moa.
Salesi Moa, right? Taken to the snap talk and shooting this gem out.
Last night at 8:30.
Absolutely stolen from us. We were excited about being in the Big 12, but
now we're not.
Tonight, I am not.
Happy about having Salesi Moa, but tonight I am not. He tweets out this, he was with us in class for a week, but in between in parentheses it says last. Then he says public announcement, because Mo is going to announce publicly today.
Mm-hmm.
Says public announcement, seen it all now, parentheses, probably not.
I'm trying to pull this up. Twitter is actually just having issues right now. He didn't delete all of his tweets, did he? I don't think so. I
got it in front of me if you want.
Okay. No, and I screenshotted it because it was particularly bizarre. Just to make sure that lasted forever. No, my Twitter just isn't working on my computer extraordinarily well. No, it's weird. There's just kind of a general rule. You have it. I have it. When in doubt, don't tweet. The last thing you need to do, if you have to give a tweet a second thought in the slightest, don't hit send.
Yeah.
And that's one you probably should have thought twice about, paused about, just said like, let's see, this is a legacy player, correct? This is one of the biggest recruits to come out of our state in some time. Yeah, he was here. I'm kind of the reason why the guy who he committed to isn't here anymore. At least I'm part of it, whatever reason. I had to say no to Kyle Whittingham, whatever Whit wanted. Whether you couldn't do it financially or you didn't believe in doing it, you're part of the reason why that guy's gone, which is part of the reason why this local kid, legacy player, is leaving, part of a very tight-knit community in our state. Should I hit send? Yes.
Send.
I'm definitely sending this out. Am I spell checking it? No, I'm not. Am I looking for punctuation? No, we're going the Cormac McCarthy route. It's just going to be chaos. Send.
Yeah, I think if you tell me the athletic director at Utah is not pleased about losing a football recruit, I'd say, yeah, that's probably true. I mean, it's not 100% in his purview. I'd say that's more directly Morgan's problem than it is Mark Harlan's. But okay, been out of shape. They lost a recruit. But to your point, I don't understand people's need to publicly go through it. I don't.
Yeah.
And it is a thing. It's a thing. I try not to be on social media that much, but you can't help but see it. Like if you've got personal Facebook friends or whatever. I don't understand, and not everybody has it, but I don't understand okay, I'm displeased about something, or something bad happened to me, or I'm super upset about something. I've got to share it with the world.
Taking it out.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I just don't. So I'm not going to fault the athletic director at Utah for being grumpy about losing a recruit, but I do not understand the impulse to say, I've got to share this with the world. Not you, because you have a very sober adult job where you can't really just be going out there and saying whatever you want.
Yeah.
That fact.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's it coming from you. And then not that he made the defense, but I saw the defense being made for him when anybody goes, well, is he right? That's not a good rhetorical,
No, it's not.
There's so much more nuance to any
Right, yeah,
sort
this
of
is not a black and
situation
white
that,
story at all.
well, is he right or not? I mean, it's like an excuse. Well, you can just walk around town and say anything you want about anybody, and your defense is, well, am I right?
Yeah.
What's that? I'm thinking of Uncle Buck, where he says, go down and have a rat gnaw that thing off your face. Like,
Yeah.
if you meet a person with an extraordinary mole on their chin, you can't tell them to go have a rat gnaw it off their chin. That's not not
appropriate.
That's not appropriate. But is he right?
Probably look better without the mole.
So I don't know it. If you want to read into it, which I often do. Mm-hmm. This is somebody who's under an incredible amount of pressure because he has really hitched his wagon to the immediate success of the football program. Honestly.
Huh?
And to Morgan's success. He is directly linked now with that happening. So the fact that he's really going through it, losing a football recruit, says to me, he's really personally attached to this. I mean, and his future depends on the success of the football program, which is probably true. Because people are going to be patient with Alex, it feels like, given where that program was. But parting ways with Kyle Whittingham in whatever fashion that they did to promote Morgan was a bold move. And if you act boldly, people, it's high pressure. Let me put it that way.
Here's where I do have understanding. I won't say sympathy, but understanding. They probably spent a fortune just recruiting this kid, right? You spend a fortune sending coaches, sending staff, whatever you have to do to get him to come back to campus. And again, I know he's a local, but had committed to Tennessee, was going to go to Tennessee. Mm-hmm. Then you flip him really late in the process. That is not a cheap aspiration. I don't think you can do that without throwing a lot of money at it and a lot of time at it. And then probably, because of what it sounds like Utah is dealing with financially, probably a lot of asking donors for money. Probably a lot of going and asking. That's not just coming out of your athletic budget. That's going and asking people to put up the money. Now, I don't know if Salesi Moa is able to keep some of the money that Utah gave him to commit. I have no idea. I don't really even want to speculate about it, but I understand why that would make you extra frustrated if that was the case. But you spend a lot of time, effort. You probably said no to other players that you thought you could have on campus to get him in the door. And then you lose him, not even at the last second, but after the fact that he is committed. I understand the frustration there.
Yeah, but that's the job.
100%.
I mean,
what I don't care about is that he left. That's
right.
his right to leave. He gets to leave. Did you sign him to a contract like the one Washington did with their quarterback that says, if you leave, you can't get a single NIL dollar? If not, you probably left yourself open to this. Yeah. And you set yourself up for this when the coach left. So that you oversaw. So this is actually part of your fault. And I understand the pressure now of A, I've lost the player. B, I told people around me that we had to get this player. And we got him, and I celebrated with those people, and now this player's gone, and I have egg on my face. I'm sure that is part of this.
Yeah. I don't know why this comparison jumped into my brain, but it did for some reason, especially considering I never served an LDS mission. Maybe we should talk to Hatch about it. But can you imagine how disheartening it is getting doors slammed in your face? I had a buddy who went to Rome. Mm-hmm. He went to Rome. Yeah. He told me, I think one person let me in their home.
Yeah, right.
The entire mission. I mean, it's got to be just horribly defeating to, be like, talk to a missionary who's like, I walked a mile to that house?
Yeah.
It was
Right.
raining outside, right?
Right.
I hoofed it.
I saw him.
I've got a hole in
he
my shoe.
just ducked off his couch. I could see he was in the front room and he wouldn't open the door.
I've got a hole in my shoe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the response probably would be like, "Oh, I'm pretty defeated.
Yeah.
I'm a little bummed. That guy wasn't very nice.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make me super excited." Do you then post a bulletin in the public newspaper shaming the neighbors for their poor hospitality?
Right.
No, because you move on and you do the job. The job is rejection for
Correct.
mission. The job is when people say no, thank you. You say all right, and you move on to the next house. Right? I mean, again, I probably shouldn't bring up something I never had that experience, but like you lost a recruit. For one, it's not even really your job. That's Morgan's job, and you lost a recruit. Don't you lose recruits every day?
And
I
then
mean,
let me
if
ask
you're
this.
doing your job, you're losing recruits every day. I mean, that's a particularly pricey one, sure, but that's
the gig.
That's the
That's
gig.
what you signed up for.
That's the job. That's intercollegiate athletics.
And then let me ask you this other thing. Give me the likelihood that at some point in his career, Salesi Moa enters the transfer portal.
Oh, I throw it at like 75%.
99%.
Yeah.
This kid's going to hit the transfer portal. If he's good, he hits it. If he's bad, he hits it. Right? One way or another, you go. If you're good
Depending
enough,
on where he goes, I guess. But
he's
yeah.
going to Michigan. I mean, that seems right. He had the do not contact tag.
He could
go somewhere else.
He
Who
could
knows?
stay there at Michigan, though, if he blows up.
Sure. But he's smart, even if you blow up, to at least say, okay, you going to pay me to come back? I might as well test free agency. It's free agency every year. But regardless, the likelihood that he leaves the school is 50%.
Yeah.
That's just every player now. Every player's likelihood at staying at the same school for 4 years
Yeah.
is so low. Why would you burn that bridge today?
I kind of more see where you're going. What if he goes to Michigan and stinks or whatever?
Or what if he gets homesick?
Yeah.
Whatever. Kids go on their mission and come
he's
back after
coming-
6 weeks.
He's coming back. The AD publicly dragged him. Yeah.
Congrats.
That's probably.
Congrats. Now you burned him. Good, really good idea. That's really responsible. That's a great idea.
What is it though, Christian? Do you have it where that impulse that if you're having something, you're going through something, you had a bad day, you've just immediately
Christian does those crying
you've just
videos in his car.
Immediately got to share it with everybody
Yeah.
who could possibly listen.
No, I don't have
And
that.
it's
And
not-
I actually get really annoyed when people do that because, people don't care.
Maybe I'm guilty of it because I complain on the radio, but I carefully craft my complaints, I guess.
Uh-huh.
But I do think there's something about like going through it. When I have gone through hard times, I guess I have shared moments of that on the radio before.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't.
But you're also here and already talking.
So maybe I'm a huge hypocrite. I don't know. I don't feel that impulse though to put it out there on social media for what?
Nobody's holding you down and making you send a
Yeah.
tweet out.
No. I don't get that. Like, I'm really mad about this recruit. I immediately got to share it with everyone. But then again, I've never hijacked a press conference after a football game.
It's just a weird approach, and I don't think it benefits him. Now, again, I'm all for it. I hope Mark Harlan goes off. I love that he did it after the BYU loss. I like that he's doing it right now. It's a content machine. It works really well for us. But if I had to answer to the program in the slightest, if I was a fan of the program, I would just say, just think about it. Just pause a beat.
You know what? I think maybe we go. If I'm giving Mark Harlan advice, maybe I go the other way. Maybe we go with who was it? Who kidnapped DeAndre Jordan?
Isn't it Mark Cuban?
Was it Mark? I thought Mark Cuban was
We
the one
tried to go get him.
Mark Cuban was the one driving around
Right.
town. Wasn't it Doc Rivers that kidnapped DeAndre Jordan?
Yeah, he was being recruited to Dallas and the Clippers.
So I don't know when the portal closes or if that even matters or whatever. But next time you kidnap the player, and then they can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
You don't enroll him in school because implying from the tweet he's thinking like, well, gotcha.
Yeah.
Once you're enrolled in school, that's the genesis of the whole tweet. Like he's disappointed because thought he had him enrolled in school. That didn't turn out to be it. So the next step, kidnapping.
The best tweet Mark Harlan could have sent was none. No tweet. Delete your Twitter. Don't send anything. The next one is, congrats, Salesi. Rooting for you.
Oh, I hate
Hope
that
this
crap
serves you
too,
well.
because that's not genuine.
Because
you
well,
just
yeah,
don't
right.
need to
So what's
say.
the best tweet?
Just don't say it.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Don't
just
say
not.
anything. Move on. Fine.
No.
We move next. Up. Who's next? That's the world.
In fact, you even leave some intrigue out there, like, what does Mark Harlan think about this? I wonder. But you're left to wonder and project, as opposed to, I know just how he feels about it.
Yeah, exactly how I feel.
I know exactly how he feels. He's pretty bent, actually.
Yeah. And you think Salesi Moa cares?
But tonight I am not.
In the slightest?
Yes, because now he cares to on the bitter side. And
Yeah, correct. Now he's got a chip on his shoulder.
yeah, now he's got. So yeah, he
Now
cares.
he's got extra motivation.
He cares in a way that does not benefit the University of Utah.
In the slightest.
No.
Anyway.
As opposed to nothing. You hear that, right? That's it.
Yeah.
That's the response.
Yep.
That's it right there. All right, stay tuned. Top 3 stories of the day, KSLSports.com. Coming up next, Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's time to break down the biggest stories of the day. This is the top 3 stories of the day on KSLSports.com. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, listen to the KSL Sports Zone because the Zone and Beehive Meals are honoring people that impact youth sports in our communities. Nominate the youth sports volunteer you know for the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week at KSLSports.com/contests, and then listen every Thursday afternoon to JJ and Alex for the winner. It's Beehive Meals Hero of the Week. Time for the top 3 stories of the day. KSLSports.com, brought to you by J. Brooks Jewelers. Cherish your love with J. Brooks Jewelers. Explore their expertly crafted engagement rings made from the finest materials. J. Brooks Jewelers. All right, Christian, where do you want to start today?
Number 1, the Jazz followed the Mavericks on the road last night.
That was the game I expected against Chicago.
Yeah, again, it's why yesterday when we were talking about the Chicago game, these were the second night of it back-to-back, we wondered, why is Chicago so bad? And you and I both kind of just want to talk about what an awful team they were. That's why, because of what we saw the Jazz do last night. Now, second night of a back-to-back, young players don't know how to prepare themselves for that. I get it. But that was a bad Mavericks team last night.
Oh, that
we
was
saw.
the G League Mavericks.
Hammer the G League Jazz.
And they were on the second night of a back-to-back, too.
Also, and had just lost a player in Cooper Flagg, and were down several starters. So,
And didn't exactly have any bigs either, although I know you love Dwight Powell. So if you're telling me that the Jazz lost, I'm not really shocked. I'm a little surprised they got steamrolled. I would have, like I said, I would have expected that against Chicago, not the G League Mavericks.
yeah, for sure.
But I like Najee Marshall, who was
they have
really
some
good.
good pieces. They've got some legit veterans. PJ
And-
Washington's good.
And Clay can still shoot when you
Yeah.
leave him wide open. It's the why was he wide open factor.
Right.
That was a little bit interesting. We played the Jazz update, and Will Hardy blamed fatigue, which sure, yeah. And everybody's allowed to have down games. I don't know. I'm a little surprised it wasn't more competitive, though.
I do think, and look, I hate to read too much into one game. I do wonder if we're starting to see a little bit of the limits of like how much Keontae can carry by himself. There's just no other creation on the roster outside of what he's able to do. Bryce can do some. He did a lot in the second half. The game was out of hand at that point. I'm not sure anything Bryce did actually mattered last night. But Keontae's being asked to do so much. There's only so much he can carry by himself. And truthfully, just Ace Bailey's just not there yet. And he will. He's going to get there. But he can't shoulder the number 2 load right now. And what's so good about the Jazz right now with Lauri Markkanen and Keontae when they're both on the floor, like they legitimately have 55 really good possessions a night. You're going to get that when those two are together, if not more than that. And they're so dangerous on the court that when anybody else is out there, and then you mix in Nurk, who's good for 10 or 15 possessions a night, you really do have a very workable offense. When you're missing Nurk and Markkanen, you're probably just stretching Keontae a little bit then. And he just can't quite get to that point. And that's the next level, honestly, for him. That's where, Kyrie is so great. That's where Steph is so great, that when they don't have all the pieces around them working, they can still win a game. Shea can do that.
I don't know if any of those guys are playing with fundamentally flawed rosters. I don't know if even Shea is dragging a team with no center.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And again, I know you prefaced that take with, I don't want to read too much into it, which I know you don't, but what are you going to do? I mean, Phil, Phil is the starting center, and he only played 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That meant that Slow-Mo was your Slow-Mo played 26 minutes at the big.
Yeah.
Locke told this, I guess, anecdote that if you ask Slow-Mo what he thinks his position is, you know what his answer is? Point guard.
Yeah. It's where he grew up playing,
Point guard.
But he's absolutely the 5
Yes.
in these games for the Jazz.
Yes. I mean, that's crazy. It's just not going to work. Keontae could have had, I don't know. Bryce had 40, whatever.
43 and they lost, yeah.
43 and they lost.
27
it's
last
just,
night,
yeah,
they lost.
I don't think it's a measuring stick. And you know what? I think you can look into what Keontae George is doing. And I can't remember if you pointed this out or Coach. Sometimes I get you guys conflated. It could have been both, honestly. Yeah. Is that he is making a concerted effort to get everybody going in the first half.
Yep.
And last night he did that, except for nobody got it going.
Yeah, especially in the first half.
In the first half. The Jazz were shooting, what, 33% at the half? Something like that.
2 of 18 from 3.
I could go back and look it up or whatever. But I do think that. I think especially in the first half, Keontae's like, I'm going to get everybody going. And then he picks his spots in the second half, which was true last night.
He only took 11 shots yesterday.
Right.
Again, and he knows. He gets what's going on. I mean, the Jazz are trying to lose these games right now.
They didn't want to win.
They're
that was
not
an
trying to
important one to lose. They probably told him before the game.
They're not trying to win on Saturday either. And then I think this is the lineup you're going to see a lot of the year. And we'll see the trade deadline's now less than 3 weeks away. I have not heard a lot of rumblings about the Utah Jazz at all. I will tell you the truth. They're coming back in town. They've been on the road a lot since right before Christmas and now. So we will, I'll try and gather some info of what's going on. But I don't expect it to be a crazy trade deadline for the Jazz. I just think this is what the lineup's going to look like with some Lowry mixed in for. There's 41 games left. They're exactly at the midway point after last night. There are 41 games left. They played 41. What do we think? Lowry plays 20?
How many games can they afford to win?
They're at 14 right now. I think you can get 11 of your next 40. So, yeah, he plays against your absolutely toughest opponents on the road.
7?
He plays at Denver. He plays at OKC, wherever you feel like, hey, we're probably going to lose that game regardless. Plays very rarely at home. Yeah, that's what you're looking at.
You know what it is unfair to Phil.
Well, he's not being set up to succeed because he's a backup for playing starting 5.
Now, if it were me and you came to me and said, hey, fella, you're not being set up to succeed, my immediate response would be, well, that's not fair.
Yeah, I don't want to do that then.
That's not fair. You're setting me up for failure? That doesn't sound like a good idea for me.
But it's good for us.
Okay.
Why? So we can draft the guy to replace you.
Now, now go out and guard that 270-pound man.
Yeah. So
Team on 3. What's next?
Number 2, the NFL playoffs roll on tomorrow.
This is arguably the best weekend of football throughout the season. We've got the Bills and the Broncos tomorrow afternoon at 2:30, and I don't mean that specifically because of these games. I mean that every year. These are, it's a pretty loaded weekend. There's 4 games to watch. They're on basically nonstop beginning Saturday afternoon to Sunday evening. So a lot of people I know celebrate this weekend. But like I said, tomorrow, 2:30, throw picks, I should say. Christian's Donkeys taking on the Bills.
Go America. Go Broncos.
The 49ers taking on the Seahawks tomorrow evening. And then Sunday, 1 o'clock, Texans, Patriots. And Sunday, Rams, Bears. Man, some bad teams. Some bad names historically sprinkled in here.
Not just bad names, but horribly flawed teams. Part of what I love about the NFL is this, that it is wide open and you can go from worst to first and all those sorts of things. And dynasties, if the Chiefs and Patriots have proven, are indeed possible, where you can rattle off a few. Are any of these teams good?
This is a year everybody's going to look back a la the Utah Jazz in 1999 or 1995 and 1994, 1995 and be like, how did you not win a title that year? Like, Jordan was out of the league in 94, 95. Jordan was out of the league in 99. You had the team that had been to back-to-back finals, and you didn't capitalize on that opportunity. The Spurs, I think, win in 99. The Bills, if they don't win the Super Bowl this year, are going to look back and be like, Mahomes is out of the playoffs.
Except for this is football. There's no guarantee that Mahomes gets back anywhere. The Chiefs have
Correct.
been on the fast train to Sucktown for a while now, and you can't guarantee Kansas City puts it all back together. That was the sheer magic of the Patriots. And if you want to give the boyfriend of the adult novelty heiress credit, it's that they refit rosters at least 3 times around Tom for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the secret sauce. There's no guarantee Kansas City does that. And the thing is with the Bills, and why again I don't compare it to Jordan. Josh Allen is not the only player on the team.
No, he's not.
And in fact, the team kind of stinks.
Oh, they have a very decided effort to not stop the run at all. If you can run the ball, how's the Broncos running game?
Hot and cold.
Well, it's going to be hot tomorrow, so that's the nice thing. They're going to be able to move the ball because the Bills have no interest in stopping. But when you boil it down historically, what do we say about the Dolphins teams that didn't win a Super Bowl? Man, I can't believe Marino didn't get one. That's how we talk about it. That's what I'm saying. 10 years from now, if we look back at playoff runs or failures potentially for Josh Allen, we're going to say Bo Nix, Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold, C.J. Stroud, Drake May ends up being a very good player. Stafford's good, but he's old and fingernails. It's like, this is not the murderer's row of quarterbacks you have to break through to win the Super Bowl. And if you're the quarterback, you get to celebrate that.
But that wouldn't be an accurate take 10 years from now, just like it's not an accurate take now.
You're right, it's not.
You're actually saying, not you, that the Seahawks are this far because of Samuel Darnold, which is incorrect.
Right. It's part of the story. It's certainly not the whole story.
Everybody loves C.J. Stroud. The Texans are not still playing this weekend because of C.J. Stroud. In fact, they're playing in spite of C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
I've surprisingly got to give fingernails his due, but the Bears defense might be the worst defense the Chicago Bears have ever fielded. I mean, it's just dreadful.
Yeah. Well, how many of these teams are winning in spite of their quarterback?
So I was going to give the fingernails credit. I think you got to give Stafford credit with the Rams,
no
but
question.
they just almost lost to the Panthers, so don't tell me they're the perfect team. Drake May's had a really good year, but I think the reason the Patriots are there is because they invested a ton in their defense in the offseason. But
Drake May's really good.
He's really good. Throw picks is the worst quarterback I've ever seen, so he's certainly not there.
No, Brock Purdy's still in the playoffs.
The Donks, Brock Purdy's terrible.
Yeah, right. He's worse than Bo throw picks.
So the Niners aren't there because of Brock Purdy. They were thinking of benching Brock Purdy for, who was it? Mac Jones?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Josh Allen needs a better team. Have you seen the stiffs he's throwing to? And the defense is terrible.
All due respect to Dalton Kincaid, friend of this program.
I was more alluding to his wide receivers, but one tight end is not an arsenal of weapons.
They have 2 tight ends. They have 2 good tight ends.
Okay. Look out.
Knox and Kincaid
Look out. But somehow it's all up to him. It's just not. And it wasn't all up to Patrick Mahomes as much as everybody loves him. He had a dang all-pro team there for a couple of years.
Do you want to venture to pick winners, or do you not care to do that?
No, because I'm obviously rooting against the Donks,
and
so
the Niners.
I'm clouded. I'm rooting against the Niners, but I don't love the Seahawks either, but clouded there. Always root against the Patriots, so what? I'm impartial in that game, and always root against the Bears. So
Hawks, Patriots, Rams, Broncos. That's who's winning this weekend.
So all the favorites?
The Rams are not the favorites.
The Rams are the favorites.
Oh, they're favorites, but they're not at home. I'm talking. Yeah, okay, yes, not the higher seed, but they are
the favorite
by Vegas. Yeah, I'm going out on a limb.
Bold. Wait, did you say? Yeah, you did, because Denver's.
Did you say Broncos?
I did. The Donks are favored by 1.5.
They are.
Seattle's favored by a touchdown. New England's favored by 3, and the Rams 3.5.
They opened as underdogs, so that must have changed.
Hit that parlay, buddy. Don't gamble.
It's
ridiculous.
Old bold take, Ben.
Print it.
Out there picking the favorites.
Print it.
Ben, you're such a freaking bozo.
Do we have another one to get to?
We do. The Utah Mammoth got another big win last night. They beat the Dallas Stars.
Continued excellent play from Vmelka. I thought that was actually one of his better games all season last night. He had some absolutely huge saves on some breakaways from the Stars. They had to melt away 3 minutes at the end of the game with a man advantage for Dallas. Dallas pulled their goalie, and they found a way to get it done. So a lot of momentum. This team's playing well, and just kind of seems like it's come together. Seems like it looks more similar to the team that we saw win 7 games in a row than that team that couldn't get off the ice.
Yeah, and Vejmelka was great. Can I give you an admission? Well, last night was a frosty yet lively atmosphere in the building, and the hockey games are super fun. If you haven't gotten to them, the crowd is really, really great, and it's fun to see what they do with the arena with the steep sides and all that. Mm-hmm. But we were rooting so hard for Dallas to get the equalizer in the last couple of minutes because the post-game show and the hockey game ended almost at the exact same time.
Yeah, right.
And I got to compliment the Mammoth fans. Pretty solid drivers in a crowd. I don't know. I'd be interested to see a study on the best crowd managing driving fan bases. You know what I mean? Like coming out of stadiums, which fan bases is it just a mad dash cluster?
Okay.
And which fan bases like are orderly and take turns and go in the right lane and it turns into a smooth process. You know what I mean?
I don't want to police how fans do their thing. I know the players do not like the whistling at the Mammoth games. They have said that's distracting. Please don't do that.
Well, deal with it.
Fans got mad about it. They're like, we like whistling.
Yeah.
Fans should stay for the 3 stars after the game. Like that's a part of the NHL. You stay and you celebrate the 3 best players. A lot of people filing out as soon as that final horn sounds. You're supposed to stay, I guess.
Well, we're still learning the new traditions around here, Ben. But it wasn't quite the nightmare I thought it was going to be. This sounds like a weird thing, and I know we're over, Christian, but I have not dealt with traffic at a sporting event, Colin, in Seoul, because I'm always working after, right? So I always leave the stadium, hour, if not hours after the event's actually over, and I never deal with the traffic.
Yeah, same.
It's kind of a funny byproduct.
No, it is
like
one of the real
sports traffic.
advantages.
And you're usually there way before the game starts, so it's not like you deal with traffic coming in. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Dealing with arena traffic last night.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, I haven't
been
been here in a while.
Yeah.
All right, stay tuned. More next, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Whether it's the Jazz, Utes, Cougars, or Aggies, these guys have got you covered.
Time to eat, fellas.
You're locked on to Jake Scott and Ben Anderson
1, 2, 3, move it.
on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Want to remind you about Win Ticket Wednesday. Your chance to win big every week on the station. Coming up next week, you can get tickets to go see the Utah Boat Show and Water Sports Expo at the Mountain America Expo Center, January 29th through February 1st. Get your tickets today at utahboatshow.com. And listen all day on Wednesday for your chance to win.
Where do you rank the college football championship game in your current zeitgeist of sports awareness?
Oh, man. That's an interesting question because it used to be at the very top, kind of. Yes, I mean, I would put it up there, the very top, as long as it's existed.
Like this weekend, that's what you're thinking about, college football?
But no, I think it's slid for me a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the problem, and I understand they have the calendar issue. They have a calendar issue. They keep adding weeks to the playoff. It's going to happen when you do that. But yeah, going up against what I said in the last segment is maybe the most celebrated outside of the Super Bowl weekend of football, other than opening weekend. This weekend we have 4 different games and everyone's competing to make it to the AFC and the NFC championship games. This is huge. Everyone's talking about the NFL. That's where people's attention span is. Even casual football fans are dialed into the NFL right now. It's easy to track the teams. It's easy to track the stories at this point. You probably watched some of the games last week, so you've got a little bit of momentum. When you spread it out as badly as you have now with the college football playoff, it's just lost a lot of juice. It's lost a lot of pizzazz. So, I mean, you were talking about the Monday Martin Luther King Day, which the NBA struggles to own days. They did Christmas. Now they've lost that to the NFL. They've done well with Martin Luther King Day, and they're going to try and keep that away from the college football playoff and this championship game. But, yeah, that's, I think, the bigger issue than necessarily that they're spreading it out so far. It's just that you've added enough things since your team last played that I'm not sure it maintains the momentum of interest that is pretty critical to fan bases. And it's still going to get huge viewership, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I don't think I think maybe you could make an argument that the NFL playoffs have begun, and thus usually we've moved on and we haven't been able to. I would buy into that. I don't know about this specific weekend, but having it on Monday separate from the NFL, I think is fine with me. Let me give you an example. I remember watching the game, where I watched it, who I was watching with, what happened in the game, all that. I'm talking about the Willis McGahee Miami, speaking of the Canes, probably why it came to mind, Ohio State game for it all in 03?
Early,
02? And that felt huge, and I don't feel that same way. But that could be about me, getting older and that sort of thing. But I used to get together with my friends or whatever, even when I've been married, every year to watch the championship game, kind of like the Super Bowl. Now it feels weird because the Super Bowl's in 2 weeks, 3. Well, I guess it's far enough away. Maybe you could have
2 weeks
two
still, yeah.
get-togethers, but I don't know. I don't think it's the teams. I've had no problem getting worked up for national championship games with teams that I care
No, this
nothing
Indiana
about.
team's fun. It's a great story. And Miami's a classic team.
I'm rooting for Miami, which feels a little weird.
Are you? Really?
Yeah, go ACC. I'm not rooting for the Big Ten.
Oh, really? I thought you would be the guy who hates other people in your team's conference.
Oh, no, I'm all conference all the time.
Really? You're an ACC guy.
As long as it's not UVA.
Okay. You and the adult novelty-ers. All ACC.
Yeah, go Heels. Yeah, absolutely. No, I pick the ACC every year to win the dang March Madness tournament.
Okay, I've not picked up on that. That's a safe bet.
Well, yeah.
I like
obviously.
Georgia in the SEC this year. Okay.
Well, I certainly don't like Kentucky in the SEC.
Yeah,
But no, I don't root for the Big Ten in anything ever.
Okay. I like Indiana. I think it's such a great story.
It's not.
You don't think so?
No.
I think it's a pretty cool story.
I think we're
It's really more fun than Miami.
I think
winning.
we're overblowing this Signetti clown big time.
I think we're watching one of the great runs we've ever seen, certainly out of nowhere. I don't think it's going to last
Are we?
particularly well. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What he's done over the last 2 years is insane at Indiana, and the fact that I think they're going to steamroll Miami this coming up on Monday.
Whatever.
It is pretty amazing.
They got the sheep barons on board or whatever is making money in the Midwest these days. And
what does that mean?
Have you heard their cheating scandals?
Well, that's the rumor because no one thinks you could possibly do this without cheating. And maybe they're right, but there is not a lot of no evidence of that, right?
Conspiracy theories.
What did you say? Sheeting what?
Sheep barons.
Sheep barons. I thought you said sheet barons, like
Sheep.
SHEET.
No, like ba.
Okay.
Sheep.
I didn't know what you were
barons.
alluding to.
I was trying to think of something like agricultural Midwesty.
Okay.
And that's what I came up
I
with.
thought you were like alluding to the Klan or something. Sheet barons. I was like, I've never heard them called that.
Sheep.
Yeah, I know the Midwest has been rough historically.
No, that's where your mind went.
Well, I thought that's what you said,
I
sheep
said.
barons.
That's not what I said.
Come on, man.
I don't know what a sheep baron is, but I get it. Yeah, I get it. Farmland. I get it.
Big sheep.
Yeah.
You know, like big pharma?
Yeah, for sure. Big farm.
Big wool.
Big farm with an F.
Yeah. All right. Stay tuned. We'll get to more coming up next. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.